Good afternoon. I'm Jim Kuntz, the president of Aero Incorporated. You know, as a business owner, I've invested in real estate for my various businesses. And over the years, I've used Burger and Company. And the representative is John O'Brien. He's done a wonderful job for me, and I respect the heck out of him. Due to a scheduling conflict today, he offered that I interview his associate, Nic Burger, who's a third generation Burger that's proudly representing the company that bears his name, Burger and Company. And in 2019, at the tender age of 21, he was the youngest person in history to achieve the prestigious designation of Certified Commercial Investment Member. How very, very impressive. What a delight it is to have you today, Nic. Please tell us a little bit more about yourself and the company you represent.
Well, I just want to say thank you, Jim, for the opportunity to be here on the show, and appreciate it, and looking forward to talk to you a little further. So Burger and Company basically was founded in 1980 by my grandpa, originally by him and about 5 other guys, partners of his. The company was initially created to identify investment opportunities to build their own portfolio, whether it be industrial properties, commercial buildings, vacant land. And then it really transpired into a industrial real estate brokerage over the years. And really with my father in joining in the late 1980s as the first sales associate for the company. And then from there, it evolved further down the line. He bought out some of the other partners, or they left, and really took over the company, bought out my grandpa. And from there, he was the one who really had the vision to try and turn Burger and Company into a full service brokerage, whether it be industrial properties, our main focus, I would say. And then we do some office and retail as well, and investment in vacant land sales. So from there, he hired his lifelong friend, John O'Brien, as one of his first associates, who you've done a lot of business with over the years. John's a tremendous guy, has a ton of respect for you and the company that you've built since he's met you.
Yeah, I have the greatest respect for John as well. He is an excellent representative of your company. We have a wonderful working relationship. So how did you end up getting into the real estate business, Nic?
Some people will make a joke and say that I was born for it, but I think I actually was. I can remember just being a little kid and going on showings and meetings with my dad, and just being around in the business, answering the phone for him when he wasn't able to take the call, and just really meeting the people that he interacts with on an everyday basis. There's a photo of me when I was about 3 years old on a bulldozer from one of his new developments that he was hired to be the exclusive leasing agent on. So I really have just been in the business, or around it, I would say, my whole life. But my passion for it, I would say, was about when I was 17 or 18. I attended some networking classes with my dad of organizations that he belongs to, and met some of the other people that he interacts with, other brokers in the industry, and kind of got a feel on their thoughts on the business. And in 2016, after I graduated, I decided to get my real estate license, started in the summer, and haven't looked back since then.
Huh. That's interesting. And then that landmark case where in 2019, you became certified as a commercial investment member, the youngest in history. Wait, was you motivated to do that? Was it just a natural thing that you did? Was it something you were interested in? Did you know that you were going to be the youngest one in history to do that?
I didn't necessarily know from the beginning when I was taking the classes that I was going to be the youngest ever. I mean, really, there's 2 top tier credentials in the industrial real estate business. There's CCIM and SIOR. My grandpa and my dad are both SIORs. Neither of them are CCIMs. So I just put it on my list to try and achieve that, since they hadn't done it, but then also try and become an SIOR like them, which is definitely on my list of goals. So the CCIM classes have been huge in my development as a broker in the industry. Just financial classes, negotiating skills, everything that I can apply to my business to better suit and service my clients when I'm working with them.
And that's amazing. You are obviously a very dedicated and a very intelligent fellow. That's I commend you for this. Tell me about this other certification that you're going after. What does it entail?
SIOR stands for Society of Industrial and Office Realtors. Really, it's just it's the top tier brokers in the industry. There's, I believe, only 1,500 to 2,000 across the country. There's certain qualifications and standards that you have to meet in order to become an SIOR. You have to take a series of classes, and really you have to meet a gross income production fee. So you have to, they don't just let anybody in there. It's all driven by transaction volume and production. So
that's incredible. So where do you see the local real estate industry heading in the next 6 to 12 months?
Industrial wise, I think the demand is so high right now, and there's a lack of buildings available on the market for sale. Maybe for every 10 to 20 people looking for a building, there's only one available, if that, depending on the features that the customer is looking for. And I think as long as the demand is high, even with interest rates kind of ticking up a little bit, the supply is still low. So, we're still going to see those crazy record-setting prices for sales or leases throughout Metro Detroit.
I happen to be in Naples, Florida right now, and the real estate market here is very brisk as well, although it's driven primarily by residential, but everything's on the market for just minutes, and it's something else. So you find yourself in the right business at the right time with the right amount of intelligence and the right pedigree. That's very, very impressive. So what do you do? What do you do for fun? You're obviously a very dedicated man and you're professionally acclaimed. What do you do how do you unwind?
Recently, I picked up the sport of golf. So I really enjoy golfing and the fact that I can do it with my friends, and but more so customers and clients. So I've gone golfing with a few guys that I've done business with, participated in a few golf outings, which has been a lot of fun. And I would say golf is probably my favorite thing to do. But in the wintertime, there's not much to do in Michigan when it's 0 degrees out. So really, I've just been working as much as I can and trying to pick up listings, because that's really the key to success right now. If you have listings, you'll find a buyer for it and you'll be able to move the product.
Yeah. I noticed there's letters of accreditation on there from your clients on the website, which your website is very clean and they've done a good job on the website. Who maintains your website?
Actually, our in-house admin, our office manager, Amber, she does a great job of maintaining all of our listings, keeping everything up to date on CoStar, which is essentially the multi-list for industrial and commercial properties. And just she runs a type ship at the office and keeps everybody up to date on their listings and everything accurate for sure.
Now, because you're such an ambitious guy and have so much energy that you devote to the business, and as you said, the business that you were born to, do you find yourself inclined to apply for any of the professional businesses, accreditations, the organizations, and that on a political level?
Potentially. I mean, I've been asked a couple times to participate on the board for CCIM, and when I do something like to do it 100% or better, and right now at this stage in my career, I'm really just focused on developing as many customers and clients as I can that'll pay dividends further down the line. And there is a time commitment involved with serving on the board for some of these professional designations. So right now at this stage, I've passed on the opportunity, but definitely down the line, I could see myself serving on those boards, and when I have a little more time to devote to that. But right now, I'm really just focused on building my business practice to the best that I can.
Yeah, you're incredibly focused and intelligent. There's a little surprise that you're successful. Those organizations will be richer as a result of your participation in them when you decide to do it. And yes, they do take a time commitment. And right now, if you decide that this is where you want to focus your energies, I would encourage you to just do that. And obviously are. Is there anything else you'd like to add about where you see the future going for your company and or the real estate industry, and maybe 5 to 10 years from now?
For our company, I mean, we're definitely growing. Over the last month or so, we've hired my younger brother actually, and another sales associate as well. So my dad is actually in Southwest Florida. He's in Naples, probably pretty close to you, Jim, for a few months. So while he's out of town, I'm in charge of training the younger guys and kind of getting their boots on the ground and a feel for the business, which I really enjoy actually, because it's kind of given me a reset on my business to get back to the basics and the fundamentals of what's really important. And I find myself practicing what I'm preaching, and I want to lead by example for them and, show them the way to do it. As far as the market, where I see it going, I mean, as I mentioned earlier, there's just such a lack of product available. We're starting to see new construction over the last few years, especially for big bulk distribution type warehouses. It's really being driven by Amazon and e-commerce companies. If you were to look at pretty much every major submarket in Metro Detroit here, whether it be the 96 corridor, 275, the airport, or even out on the east side, you'll see big box developments just for warehousing type operations. There's just a lack of space overall, I would say. So, hopefully that trend continues and business continues to go well for everybody.
Well, that's great. Pivoting back to your training and mentoring, that's very admirable. And it is true that you sharpen your skills when you do train and mentor, because the old adage is to teach is to learn twice. And so that you'll benefit from that as well. Why don't you give your two new employees a shout out here? What are their names?
My younger brother, Victor Burger, and then Jack Bushart. So they're both young and ambitious, and they're doing a great job so far.
Well, welcome, Victor and Jack. Listen, I got to tell you, it's been a delight talking to you. I would like to stay in touch with you. I certainly enjoy the relationship I have with John O'Brien. He is that outstanding man that you said, and I believe that. And tell him thank you. And you've been an excellent substitute for him and for your representative of your company. I can't thank you enough for your time today, Nick.
Thank you. I really appreciate the opportunity to be on the show.
Nick, in closing, is there anything that you'd like to say to your clients?
I would just say, if there's anybody out there that is on the fence about looking to sell or lease out some extra building space that they're not using, or if they have a toy box full of their boats and cars and whatnot, move that somewhere else, because now is the best time to maximize your property's value. As I mentioned earlier, sale prices and lease prices are at an all-time high. Our company has people in every market looking to buy or lease space. So if you're on the fence, I would definitely recommend, contacting us and asking us for our opinion on the property, as we would be happy to do that. And we're available to be reached anytime to meet with you in person and walk through your building.
And I can tell you as a client that they're very responsive, and they're my first call whenever I'm looking for anything. So good enough. I hope they do that. Take your advice. Thanks again, Nick.
Thank you, Jim. Really appreciate it.